I call my beloved. The sun is slowly setting. The night is fast approaching. The world dissolving into shadows. The light of another day gone. Such an ancient disposition. Time and space lose their function. They no longer have meaning when I am with you. If there is a black hole, it is time spent without you. I roll the aloneness into a ball. I throw it into the vastness. I am beset, bothered, and besieged. The world clambers and scrambles for my attention. I know the world is a miasma. I have seen the shimmering mirage. I call my beloved. He stands beside and behind me. He stands before me. There is nowhere he is not. I call my beloved through storm and tranquility. I call my beloved. I hear his voice echoing mine. Whatever happens, for many nights now, the whippoorwill has been calling its mate. The Cherokee said to hear this song is a sign of impending death. I have courted death all my life. The sound of a train's whistle in the black of night, I know what loneliness is. You are the eliminator. You are the executioner. You are the extinguisher. You remove all obstacles. Emptier, dissolver, destroyer, I invite your love. I receive your blessing. Your grace is killing me. What a strange life this is. I place my head at your feet. I ask for nothing. You give me everything. I sat down to write about desperation. You made me stand in exultation. You remind me how unimportant whatever happens is. You also remind me how important whatever happens is. Here and not here. This gulf of sighs and tears is heartbreak. I try again and again, but I cannot cross over. I am stricken. I am helpless. My vessel setting sail falters and returns. Today I will build a bridge. My breath will birth gardens. The flowers, incense to worship you. My hopeless dreams always end this way. I am here and you are here. Still, we are apart. My heart is a rock turned to butter. I melt for you. I cannot piece myself together. You are daybreak. I wait expectantly for you. You are here and not here. My days pass this way. Someday I will please you. I will fall before you, my head at your feet. Lotus flowers will open and bloom. This garden is full of roses. I follow the petals strewn on the path. My husk has opened, the fruit of my love before you. Reading to my beloved. I am reading to my beloved. The book is very, very long. He encourages me in oh so many ways. He indicates when to pause, when to stop. This story is full of suspense. It is replete with intrigue. I act out the drama. I become the characters. I am caught up in this play of life. I go on reading and reading. I am forgetting everything else, all except the passages before my eyes. Sometimes I exclaim boldly. Sometimes I am surprised at what I am reading. Is this a tragedy or a comedy? I cry, I laugh out loud. My beloved continues to encourage me. I go on reading to please him, to make him happy. As I turn the last page, I realize I am nearing the end. I look at my beloved. He smiles at me. After all, this is a love story. This next one is Caravan at Sunset, which is the title of the painting that Anita and I got from Edwin Lord Weeks. And I think in the last reading I read a Caravan poem, and this is the title, both the title of the poem and the title of that painting. Caravan at Sunset. We measure time and distance in these grains of sand. Today, an almost astronomical amount. We hold infinity in the palms of our hands. There is nothing easy in the desert. Hard times and illusory shadows abound. The only softness, the only sound, are animals' footfalls in the fluid sand. We keep going. We are intent. Our journey nearing its end. Tonight, we are too tired to talk. What value are words anyway? I lie awake watching a parade of stars. The animals have been fed and watered. A shooting star bisects a crescent moon. I drift off, dreaming of you. When I awaken, we will begin again. My companions and I, all in motion. The tinkling of the bells, our music. We follow the sun by day, the stars by night. You might ask me, what keeps me going? I will tell you, my dear, right now. The light that shines on my beloved's face. The sound of the waterfall deep within my heart. I say your name. Your light behind my eyelids. Another glorious sunrise. I say your name. You dine with me at the breakfast table. You provide everything I need. I say your name. The stumble, the pain in the knee, hip, and shoulder. The other ache, too difficult to describe. I say your name. The persistent noise in the attic, the trouble in the basement. I say your name. The loved one hurt, wounded, crying. Your cup, their only remedy. I say your name. The bitch and bastard we call this world. The burgeoning storm on the horizon. I say your name. The honeyed elixir of your love. The light of the candle. The fragrance of the rose. I say your name. I bend and bow before you. You stand before me. I say your name. The lifetime of a moment, the journey each passing day, I say your name. Betwixt and between, here and there, hither and beyond, I say your name. O beloved Baba, Meher Baba, God incarnate, you are always here. I say your name. This next one is from a dream that I had over 40 years ago. It's interesting because at the same time, Anita had a very similar dream. And that was that the ocean was on fire. And this is called Sea of Fire. And this isn't the whole dream. It's even more involved, but some of it was rather personal. The Sea of Fire. Last night, the whole world was on foot, fleeing something monstrous and unknown. The earth was shaking, the sky a sickly pea green. There was an acrid stench. Screaming filled the air. Everyone carried their weighty, cumbersome possessions, some by conveyances, some on their backs. People were fighting and scuffling with one another. The scene could have been painted by Bruegel the elder. I asked a refugee where he was going. He told me the ocean was burning. He and his family were traveling to the mountains. I espied distant peaks, an apparition of a moving swarm. I remained where I was, a solitary standing figure. I resisted the impetus to go with the flow. I remembered what you told me so long ago. My path has been mapped out, each step directed by you. The last thing I saw before I awoke, the heavens opened up, the world disappeared. There was a silence. The light was natural once more. I was standing before a burning ocean. I saw you appear on a distant wave. A fiery effulgence, you beckoned to me. I crossed over a sea of fire, your ocean of love, dousing and drowning me. God is. The world is a tricked-out emporium. Maya the manipulator is manager and proprietor. She displays her wares in a fluorescent showroom. Her sleazy salesman smoking cheap cigars. Once you enter, you are trapped. You become the shadowy prey, confined and imprisoned. You are an insect caught in a web. All your assets are frozen. Whatever you have is taken. There is no exit, no escape. This is the grand storehouse of delusion. The sign over the counter reads, "Buyer beware." It is covered with grime. The furnace in the basement belches soot. The noise you hear is your mind at work. The emporium is open 24/7. There is never a lack of customers. Flocks of sheep without a shepherd. Lemmings jumping off a cliff, rushing to destruction. I saw an elderly gentleman cut a hole in the door. This ancient one entered with a dazzling light. The tamasha was revealed for the nothing that was. Nothing remained, but God is. My prayer. Daily I stand before you. I ask for your help. Once strong, I have become weak. I am infirm and unsteady. I rely wholly and solely on you. I am dependent on you. At night, I disassemble myself. I place the pieces in a jar before you. You are my safeguard. You stand watch over me. I travel to the beyond. When I return, my pillow is soaked with tears. Why, beloved, must we go on this way? You give me these words. Your gift to me. Your gift keeps giving. I write what you have given. The real letter, the real prayer, I write in invisible ink. Only you can read. Only you can decipher. My prayer is a simple one. I say it by heart. Let me see with your eyes, so I can see only you. I'd rather be with you. I sent this out, this poem, I'd rather be with you. And one of the people I sent it out to responded. They said they liked the poem very much. And it reminded them of a song from the 1960s by Dusty Springfield. I Only Want to Be With You. And I remember that I really liked that song back in the old days. And so I looked up the lyrics, and if you have the time to look up the lyrics to I Only Want to Be With You, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Anyway, I'd rather be with you. The glory of June flowers blooming on the hillside. The sibilance of the gurgling stream outside my window. The call of the starlings at evening time. All these things remind me of you. the distant thunder echoing in the mountain valley, the sudden sweet and gentle shower, the smell that precedes and proceeds this blessing. All these things remind me of you. The shy bobcat, a shadow in the dusky woods, the doe and fawn at the edge of the trees, the hummingbird looking in on me in late afternoon. All these things remind me of you. The impossible blue of the sky when the light is just right, the passing cloud that shapes into your smiling face, the chipmunk that skitters silently across the soft earth. All these things remind me of you. The humming ohm of insects flying in the garden, the rock there in the perfect shape of a heart, the solitary stone that glints and reflects the light. All these things remind me of you. The world at its best is a spectacular wonder. It reveals the glory of God's magnificent manifestation. All these beauties revealed and considered, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you. You are here. The invitation is engraved with blood and tears, written on parchment of lover's skin. The bird of paradise will deliver to the beloved's door. Tonight the guest of all guests will arrive. Throw open the doors and windows. Make ready this worn and tarnished temple. Music will play within the chamber of the heart. The orchestra is tuning up for this glorious event. How long have we waited for this moment? Preparation of lifetime after lifetime. When did we last hear this ancient tune? The very notes bring tears to my eyes. All things come and go. The minutiae of eons and eons. Just passing clouds in the sky. There is never anything but you. I am standing ready at my door. No, I am prostrate on the floor. I am both at one and the same time. I cannot account for myself anymore. You are here, my beloved. What a fool I have been. Where was I all this time? You are here, beloved. You are here.
Can I say something? I can always cut it out.
Yeah.
If I understood the poem right, is it along the lines of you can't become what you already are?
Chris, you have nailed it. And what I'm going to do is, after this next poem,
Yeah.
I'm going to read 3 things today.
Oh, excellent.
So you
Okay.
Wake me, beloved. It is all evening time now. The days roll into one another. Like the clouds I watch at sunset, everything dissolving, the colors blurring. I once said I did not feel old. Not now. Every bone and tendon talks back. I cannot keep up the pretense any longer. My body's usefulness seems outdated. The advantage is this. My life seems like an unending prayer. Whenever I awaken during the long, quiet night, I begin again my prayer to you. My prayer is simplicity itself. Thank you, God. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, beloved, 1,000 times a day, uninterrupted by the long, quiet night. I see you in many guises. I witness your eyes, your smile. I look for your hands and arms to embrace me. I seek the solace and comfort of your feet. This love is madness. The more you give, the more I long for you to take me to the place where we are never apart. Just now, the sky is going dark. I will make preparations for sleep. I have had enough sleeping for a lifetime. Wake me, beloved, so I never sleep again. Now, I'm not going to read this next poem, and I'm going to read 3 things this morning that just came to me to do this. And one of them, I think, is a very good answer to what you said.
Good.
I'm going to read, and I'm going to read these without comment or commentary, really. I could say a lot. Sometime maybe we'll do it.
Stay with God.
This is Stay with God, and Will Moore. I've said this probably before. I love the love song of John Kerry, which is not so thinly disguised, but it's about Francis himself. And I'm going to read 2 stanzas. Someday I'll read the whole thing, maybe, but these 2 stanzas. But it is no good talking to you, Baba. You are just too much love. Whatever we say, you just smile with your smile of divine kindness, as much as to say, ho, these children of mine myself, why did I ever wake up and start singing? This singing of your smile, stretching out and supporting the nothingness of us, of the nothing. Oh, in the dawn song of his mouth, I only hope I am still around then. It is no good talking to one who is the saying of the say which one says, because he doesn't listen, because he knows exactly what he is going to say. Tired and tired am I of myself. For the wide expanse of the sky of your bosom I cry. Awake in my heart that I may love you with service, or else be dust before your feet. Anything but this not even nothing, nor a place in your everything. Something, O my child and my father. This is a great book, which I've been reading again lately. That's Purdam's The God Man. There's information that you won't find anywhere else here. Adele Wolkin, I once told her about something in here, and she actually made me go to the center and read it out. And Many years ago at the center, this must have been back in the late 70s, I watched a production of The New Life. And it was a grand production. It was very well done, except the theme, and in fact, the major song in it was Renunciation. And I think this puts some things in perspective. Again, I could talk at length about it, but I won't today. Asked one day why he had taken to the New Life, and was there any need for it, Baba replied, there is no explanation. The word Satyanashi, which he used in connection with the New Life, came up for discussion, and alternatives were suggested, such as renunciation, Kana Karaki, and Barbati. But he said, these words have a spiritual meaning, and this life of ours has nothing to do with spirituality. There's a world of difference between renunciation and Satyanashi. Renunciation can be practiced by anyone and has a quality related to the one who practices it. But Satyanashi cannot be practiced. It is not of anyone's seeking. It comes and cannot be resisted. Actually, I will say one more thing, because I read that, as I said, back in the 1970s, and it really hit me at a deep level. So I asked, when was Adi over here? Was it 1970? And it was Adi Kairani here in 1979?
I'm not sure if it was 79 or 78.
Whenever it was, I asked Adi about Satyanashi. And I'll never forget, he just sort of looked into the distance. He was very articulate with his hands and gestures. And he said, ah, Satyanashi, what can be said? It was kind of interesting. So a couple years later, I was over in India, and I was sitting alone with Erich. And I asked Erich, and he looked at me, and then he looked into the great beyond, and he said this. He said, one time, and this isn't for word, but he said, one time we were traveling during the New Life with Baba, and we were in the north, and it was cold, and it was rainy, and we had been walking all day long, and there was really no place to sleep. We were out in the elements. There was a tree, and I got the bedroll out and got Baba organized under the tree. And he said, then I went over and put myself on the ground. And he said it was raining, and he said, and it was raining so hard that the water was going in my nose. And he said, all of a sudden, I realized what Satyanashi is.
That's good.
So I'm going to read one more thing that I just happened to, I'd read this before, but this is in a section of page 250 and 251 in The God-Man, the chapter called The Final Declaration. And Baba was playing some records, not Baba was playing them, but some records were played of Qawwali music. And Baba said this about one of the records and what the singer was saying. O lover, beware. God tests you by being cruel, by giving you false hopes, even by cutting you to pieces. Kalyan says, the master ties you fully dressed, hands and feet, unto a plank, throws you in mid-ocean, and says, if you love me, let not one drop of water touch your clothes. Why does he do this? The answer is that which Peter, the chief apostle, was told. You will deny me. Why? Jesus in that way took the whole burden of the world and made Peter share it. To love means to lose your whole self with all its paraphernalia. It means torture, pangs, longing, and if, despite this, one is firm in his love, he becomes one with the beloved. What was the height of suffering to Peter? That he denied his beloved master. This denial was to enable him to share the sufferings of Jesus. The lover says, now the effect of your love has so infinitely widened my vision that wherever I go, I see nothing but you. I know, beloved, I shall not be able to bear your glory. Yet I am ready to die. Show me your face. And then another record was played of Hafez, and Baba interpreted, do not procrastinate. Start to love from this very moment. Do not forget the beloved, even for one instant. Baba explained that the master of Hafez, whose name was Ferdudin Attar, had long tresses of black hair. Hafez says in a following poem, do not let your hair flow freely, as my heart receives an arrow from every hair. O beloved, these tears that I shed are tears of blood so precious that you could consider them as pearls and wear them as earrings. God says, O lover of mine, if you want to enter my lane, first let your head roll under my feet and be kicked by me as a ball. The lover says, I have been killed by your love, and yet your cruel beloved, you do not even glance at me. And yet you cruel beloved, you do not even glance at me. Okay, the last two poems. Your song. First there was a rhythm, then an echo, constant, repeated, building. A few notes sounded, sonorous and resonant, a tune congealing, a melody taking birth. When did I first become aware? The song you are always singing, a sweetness in my ear. I have left this sad world behind. I cannot hear anything else. Cruelty, delusion, misery left behind. Your song fills the void of this world. Your song fills the gulf between illusion and reality. Your song is the song of creation. Your song is the bridge between you and me. Your song is the end of the rainbow. Now this whole thing about caravan and desert has been something that I've been talking about, thinking about, and this last one is titled Desert. No one knows anything in the desert. No one knows which direction to go. A compass is as worthless as an empty canteen around your neck. The sands shift. They reassemble and rearrange. Sandstorms blind and bewilder the traveler. Vision is obscured, helplessness incurred. Movement of any kind nearly impossible. The sun and stars are your guide. You soon find an uncomfortable truth. You cannot get there from here. You always come back to where you started. Barren does not begin to describe. Hostility is just another word for conditions too bleak to give a name. The desert does not give and does not receive. How many adventurers have lost their way? How many pilgrims have seen the mirage, taking it to be the life-giving oasis, tricked and bedazzled by the shimmering light? If you find yourself in the desert, there is only one who can guide you, the ancient one who has seen it all, the ancient one that knows each step of the way. He is always beside you. He is always taking your hand. Walk with him through desert and wasteland. Walk with him out of this world. First you have the desert, then you have the dessert. J-Bob.
J-Bob.